So often, we think of dreams as something distant, hanging in the horizon like stars, forever unreachable. We imagine that life is a waiting room, and someday, at the right time, we will step forward and claim what we desire. But the truth is far less complicated. The dream is not somewhere else. It is not outside of you. It is your own heartbeat, calling you to live fully now. The dream is not separate from you. It is easy to believe that what you long for lies somewhere outside, in some faraway future, like a treasure waiting to be discovered. Yet the dream is not a foreign land you must travel to. It is already woven into the fabric of your being. It lives in the quiet chambers of your heart, in the restless thoughts that stir when you lie awake at night, in the visions that arise uninvited when you imagine who you could become. To see a dream is not to invent something out of nothing, but to recognize a reflection of your own potential. When you think of the dream as distant, you create a wall between yourself and life. You chase it endlessly as if happiness and fulfillment exist only at the end of the road, but the truth is gentler and more liberating. The dream is not a destination, it is a mirror. It shows you what you already are but have not yet allowed yourself to express. To dream of being free, of creating, of exploring, of loving more deeply, is simply to awaken to what has always been within you, waiting for the courage of your attention. Every genuine dream emerges from the core of your being, not from imitation. That is why the dream feels alive, it resonates, it pulls you, it will not let you go. It whispers that your life is not meant to be confined to routine, that there is a music playing within you that only you can bring into the world. To ignore it is to live in conflict, to carry a silent ache that nothing else can soothe. To listen to it is to return home to yourself. The dream is not separate because it does not come from outside circumstances. It does not require perfect timing, nor the approval of the world. It requires only your willingness to align with it. You cannot wait until conditions are flawless, for conditions are never flawless. What makes the dream real is not the external stage on which you perform, but the inner readiness to step forward. The moment you act, however small the action may be, you realize that you are not chasing something beyond you. You are simply giving shape to what you already are. There is a reason the dream feels so intimate. It belongs to you. It does not belong to chance, nor to anyone else's judgment. And because it belongs to you, it will not abandon you. Even when you deny it, it will return. Even when you bury it beneath doubt, it will resurface. Its persistence is not a curse, but a reminder that life itself is calling you to rise into your fullness. The dream is not a distant star. It is the light already burning within you. To see it clearly is to understand that what you seek is not something to be gained, but something to be lived. And the moment you honor it, you discover that the dream and the dreamer have never been apart. You see, to dream is not merely to imagine castles in the air, but to recognize the blueprint of your own becoming. Every dream that stirs in you is a reflection of the possibilities life has already placed within your reach. Yet they remain hidden, not because they are impossible, but because we hesitate. We wait for courage, for certainty, for the perfect moment. But the perfect moment is always disguised as the present moment. Delay is the greatest thief of possibility. Life opens only when you move. Every moment you hesitate, every time you wait for the perfect condition, a door quietly closes. Not because life is cruel, but because time is alive. It flows, and what it offers is always moving forward. Opportunity does not sit still, waiting for you to be ready. It dances in the rhythm of the present. To delay is to step out of that rhythm and watch as the music passes you by. We often comfort ourselves with the illusion that there will always be more time. We think tomorrow will bring greater clarity, less fear, or a smoother path. But tomorrow is an idea, not a promise. The only certainty you will ever have is now, this breath, this chance to step forward. The longer you wait, the heavier the weight of waiting becomes. Dreams deferred gather dust, energy dissolves into doubt, and what could have been a reality fades into regret. Delay does not only steal your opportunities, it quietly steals your courage. Movement, however, changes everything. It does not matter if the step is small or uncertain. What matters is that you move. Life responds to action. When you take a step, even a hesitant one, you open a door that was invisible before. New paths reveal themselves only to those who walk. You cannot see the whole staircase from the ground, but the next step appears as you climb. Possibility does not expand in thought alone, it expands through engagement. Delay feeds on fear, on the hope that certainty will arrive without risk. Yet certainty is not a gift the world hands to you, it is something you cultivate through motion. Each step forward gives you feedback, teaches you, refines you. Inaction keeps you safe from mistakes, but it also keeps you safe from growth, from wonder, from the unfolding of your own potential. Delay may feel harmless in a single moment, but over time, it becomes the quiet erosion of your life. Think of a seed. If it is left too long in the dark, never planted, it does not stay the same. It loses its vitality, and eventually it can no longer grow. Your possibilities are the same. They are not meant to be hoarded, waiting for a season when everything feels certain. They are meant to be planted, watered, and nurtured by your willingness to begin. The soil of life responds not to hesitation but to action. The paradox is that movement itself creates the conditions we are waiting for. Clarity arrives through doing, strength arises through challenge, confidence grows through repetition. By delaying, we deny ourselves these gifts. By moving, we discover that life has been waiting, ready to open doors that seemed locked, ready to carry us further than we imagined. Delay steals, but motion gives. And the moment you step forward, life expands in ways you could never have planned. To get up and achieve your dreams is not to fight against the flow of life, but to step into it. Think of a river, it does not wait to begin moving. From the first trickle, it flows, it adapts, it carves valleys out of stone. That is the nature of movement, gentle, persistent, inevitable. In the same way, your small beginnings are enough. Rising today, even with trembling steps, begins the current that carries you forward. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to walk alongside it. Fear is often misunderstood as a sign of weakness, as though the presence of trembling, doubt, or uncertainty means you are unfit to move forward. But fear is not the enemy. It is a natural companion of growth, a signal that you are standing at the edge of what is known, about to step into the unknown. To expect its absence is to wait forever. To demand a life without fear is to demand a life without movement. Courage does not silence fear, nor does it erase it. Courage is the quiet agreement to take fear by the hand and walk anyway. It is the recognition that fear and possibility often arise together. Whenever you feel that knot in your chest, that hesitation before speaking, creating, or stepping forward, it is a sign that something meaningful waits on the other side. If it did not matter, there would be no fear. Fear is proof that the path ahead holds significance. Walking alongside fear is not about pretending to be fearless. It is about living truthfully. When you admit your fear but continue forward, you honor your own humanity. You accept that trembling knees and racing hearts can still carry you, a voice that shakes can still speak truth. A hesitant step can still begin a journey. Courage is not perfection, it is persistence in the presence of imperfection. So many dreams are left unrealized, not because they are impossible, but because people wait to be free of fear before they try. They imagine that others who succeed are fearless, when in reality, those who succeed have simply chosen to act in spite of their fear. They have learned that fear does not disappear, but it loses its grip when you refuse to stop walking. The moment you move, you discover that fear is not a wall, but a shadow. It looks larger when you stand still. but it grows smaller with each step forward. To walk alongside fear is also to recognize its hidden gift. Fear sharpens your awareness, draws your attention to what is important, and reminds you that you are alive. It forces you to awaken, to be present, to feel the weight of the moment. Instead of resisting it, you can let it be the fire that fuels your courage. Without fear, bravery would have no meaning. Without risk, achievement would carry no depth. Life does not demand that you be fearless, only that you be willing. Every great act, every leap forward, is born not out of certainty, but out of the willingness to step with fear at your side. Courage whispers, "Yes, I am afraid, and yes, I will still go on." And in that simple act, you discover that fear is not there to stop you, but to walk with you until it dissolves in the light of your action. Fear will whisper, doubt will knock, and failure will appear at your door. But these are not enemies, they are companions of the path. Fear shows you what matters most. Doubt challenges you to grow stronger, and failure humbles you so that your foundation is firm. If you run from them, you run from your own becoming. If you walk with them, you discover that the dream is not only possible, but waiting for you. Action transforms vision into reality. Without action, the dream dissolves into mist. A vision in the mind is powerful. It can stir the heart and ignite the imagination, but unless it is carried into the world through effort, it remains only a flicker in thought. Dreams that are not acted upon begin to fade, like clouds dispersing in the morning sun. They inspire for a moment, but without movement, they leave nothing tangible behind. Action is the bridge between what is imagined and what is lived. It is tempting to believe that clarity must come before movement, that one must wait until every step is mapped out before beginning. Yet visions rarely arrive with a complete instruction manual. They come as sparks, as glimpses of what could be. To hold them too tightly in the mind without expression is to risk suffocating them. Action gives them breath. Each step taken shapes the vision into something real, giving it form, texture, and weight. A dream without action is a painting that never leaves the canvas of imagination. Action need not be grand or dramatic. Even the smallest gesture moves the vision closer to life. A single word written, a single attempt made, a single risk embraced begins to carve reality from the unseen. With each step, momentum builds, and what once seemed unreachable becomes ordinary progress. Waiting for the perfect moment only ensures that the dream remains untouched. The perfect moment is created by movement itself. Without action, the dream does more than fade. It begins to drain the soul. Carrying a vision year after year without expression creates a quiet sorrow, a weight of unfulfilled potential. The mind grows restless, the heart unsettled, because deep down you know the dream was never meant to remain a mist. It was meant to become a part of the world through your hands, your words, your choices. The longer it is delayed, the more it slips into regret, leaving only questions of what might have been. Action, however, invites the dream into the present. It transforms longing into experience. It teaches through trial, through failure, through success. Every attempt, even those that fall short, is a step closer to refining the vision. Reality is shaped not in one sweeping act, but in the steady rhythm of consistent effort. Each day, with each choice, the dream gathers substance until it is no longer something imagined, but something lived. The mist of imagination is beautiful, but it is fragile. Only by moving, by doing, by risking, does it condense into something solid, something you can touch and share with the world. Action turns the unseen into the seen, the possible into the actual. And in that transformation, you discover that the dream was never meant to remain a vision, it was always waiting to become your reality. We often imagine that achievement is at the end of the road, as though life were a straight line leading to a golden gate. But the dream is not merely the end, it is the walking itself. Each day you rise, each action you take, each risk you embrace, this is the dream unfolding. Do not postpone your joy until some faraway success. Realize that by moving, by daring, by trying again and again, You are already living the dream. Failure is not the end, it is the very soil from which growth arises. So often, failure is treated as a final verdict, a sign that the journey has collapsed, that the effort was wasted. Yet failure is not a wall, it is a mirror and a teacher. It reflects the gap between intention and action, between vision and execution, and in doing so, it offers the precise lessons needed for growth. To fail is not to be defeated, but to be given the raw material from which resilience and wisdom are formed. Every seed must first break apart beneath the earth before it can rise as a tree. From the outside, it appears as destruction, as loss of form, but that very breaking is what allows new life to emerge. In the same way, failure cracks the shell of our assumptions, our illusions of perfection, and invites us to grow into something greater. Without it, there would be no depth to success, no strength to character, no humility to balance achievement. What makes failure feel heavy is not the event itself, but the story we attach to it. We call it the end when in truth it is a beginning. Each mistake, each collapse, each disappointment carries within it the seeds of understanding. It shows what does not work, what must be refined, what inner strength must be developed. The greatest lessons rarely come in the moments of triumph. They arrive when the ground falls from beneath us and we are forced to discover who we truly are. Failure is also a test of commitment. A dream worth pursuing will not unfold in a single attempt. It will demand patience, perseverance, and the courage to rise again. Each time you fail and choose to continue, you deepen your roots. You learn to withstand the winds of doubt, the storms of uncertainty. You begin to see that failure is not a sign to stop, but a call to adapt. It is life's way of shaping you into the kind of person who can carry the weight of success with grace. Those who fear failure most deeply often remain trapped in hesitation, never daring enough to grow. Yet those who embrace failure discover that it loses its sting. They see it as part of the process, as natural as breathing. Every great achievement in history has been built on countless failures, each one a stepping stone disguised as a setback. Without them, the path would remain incomplete, so failure must not be rejected or feared, but accepted as fertile ground. It is the soil in which determination takes root, where clarity blossoms, and where the strength of spirit matures. To fail is not to fall into emptiness, but to fall into the very earth that sustains new life. And from that soil, growth always arises stronger, wiser, and more enduring than before. So rise, not tomorrow, not when everything feels safe, not when the world gives its approval. Rise now. Achieve not by forcing, but by aligning with what you already are. Every step is enough, every effort is sacred. Life is not asking you to be perfect, it is asking you to be present, to participate, to say yes. To rise each day with intention is to step into the rhythm of creation itself. Morning is not merely the continuation of time, it is a birth, a renewal, an opening of possibility. Each day arrives untouched, offering itself like a blank canvas. To wake with no direction is to drift, carried aimlessly by the currents of circumstance. But to rise with intention is to choose the color, the brush, the stroke with which you will shape the day. Intention is more than a thought. It is the quiet alignment of your inner world with your outer actions. It is the decision to meet life not as a passive observer, but as a participant in the great unfolding. When you begin your day with clarity, with purpose, even in the smallest of acts, you are not simply moving through time, you are weaving yourself into the fabric of creation. Life responds differently when met with intention. The hours do not scatter, they harmonize, they carry meaning. The rhythm of creation is not hurried, nor is it chaotic. It moves with a steady pulse, like the beating of a heart, like the turning of the seasons. To rise with intention is to tune yourself to that pulse. It is to recognize that you are not separate from the world around you, but part of its movement. Just as the sun rises with certainty, just as the river flows without hesitation, you too can step into the day with a sense of alignment, knowing that your actions contribute to the greater whole. Intention does not demand grand gestures. It lives in the way you choose to greet the morning, in the way you carry your thoughts, in the way you offer your energy to the tasks before you. It is the difference between wandering through the hours half-ass, leap, and awakening fully to the moment. When you rise with intention, you declare silently to yourself, "This day is not happening to me, I am happening with it." Without intention, life often feels fragmented, as though the days blur into one another with no rhythm, no melody. But intention threads the pieces together. It transforms ordinary routines into sacred rituals. A simple action, when done with awareness, becomes part of something larger. Eating, walking, speaking, working, all of these can either be empty motions or notes in the song of creation, depending on whether intention is present. To rise each day with intention is to understand that creation is not only the work of the universe, but also the work of your own hands, heart, and mind. You are both the instrument and the musician. Each morning invites you to play your part, to bring forth what only you can offer. And in doing so, you discover that life itself is not waiting to be lived someday in the future. It is happening here, in the rhythm of each day, in the deliberate choice to live with purpose.